Where does self-confidence come from? And this is the best advice I can give you on that. Not neglecting, first of all, the small daily disciplines. Self-confidence really comes from feeling good about yourself. And one of the best ways to feel good about yourself is at the end of the day to know that you poured it on. You did your best. If you conducted a meeting, you did the best you could. If you made a phone call, it was the best phone call you could possibly make. If you wrote a letter, it wasn't a casual letter, it was your best letter. At the end of those kind of days, when you feel good about yourself, self-confidence starts to rise. You know that if you can have this kind of a good day, you can have another one the next day, and those days become the weeks become the months, and the month becomes a powerful year.
What's up, dreamers? Welcome to another episode of Helpful Dreams. This is where we discuss and analyze the most life-changing concepts of all time from all of the best mentors of all time. And today we're going to be diving into the topic of self-confidence and how we can better raise our self-confidence. I'm going to be sharing with you guys an experiment that will show you exactly how important self-confidence is in getting you to where you want to be in life. So we're going to go ahead and play that right now.
These are anagrams. Just do the first one only. Go ahead and solve it. An anagram is rearrange the letters to form a word. Just one. Just rearrange those letters to form a word. When you're done, I need to see your hand raised. Keep going, we'll wait. Keep your hands up, please. Just do number one. Don't go on. Don't go on. This isn't meant to be difficult. Okay, put your hands down. Let's just go to number two. Don't even worry about number one. Go to number two. Solve that one. Again, when you're done, I want to see your hands up. Everybody's hands down. We're going to go ahead and do number three. For number three, rearrange the letters, and as soon as you do, go ahead and put your hand up. Here's what you need to know. You were both given two different lists. This side of the room was given these three words. And left side of the room, here you go. They were given bat. What would the word be? The second one, they were given lemon. Brian, the word? Melon. They were easy. The trick here was both of you were given the third word, which was the same. The third word was cinerama, which was American. Your first two words on this side of my classroom were not solvable. They were impossible tasks. I'm sorry. I know, but here's what we did this for. I was able to induce something called learned helplessness in the left side of the room very easily within about 5 minutes. I want you to think about what happened to you, this left side of the room, when you saw the right side of the room raising their hands because they already had the task done. What happened to you during that time? Jory?
I felt stupid.
You felt stupid? Okay.
I felt rushed.
Felt rushed? Joelle?
I was even more confused.
You were even more confused because they all got it and you were still struggling. Chelsea?
Frustrated.
Frustrated. What happened by the time you got to the third word? Because I'm here to tell you, this side of the room is not significantly more intelligent than this side of the room. That was a random assignment. So what happened to show the differences? Why did you have more of a difficult time with the third word, which was the exact same word? Brian?
My confidence was shot.
What you experienced was a term called learned helplessness. How many have heard of the term before? Let me see your hands. Learned helplessness is often used in the academic literature to mean what? Jory?
Basically, they fail once or can't do something one time, and then they apply that to everything in the future.
I love watching this experiment because it shows us exactly how powerful self-confidence and our belief in ourselves is in guiding us to success and giving us the momentum that we need to be successful. In this experiment, the people who got the answers that were unsolvable were comparing themselves to the other half of the class who seemed to be getting the answers right every time. The students who doubted themselves in the beginning also carried that doubt into the third question, which was the same as the other half of the class, but it made it more difficult for these students to get it done because they were doubting themselves and they already felt like so behind compared to the other class that it affected their ability to actually get the answers done. I love this experiment because it shows us how when we compare ourselves to people who are farther ahead, we might begin to develop self-doubt in ourselves, which can sabotage our chances of success. The first step to getting out of this rut and building our self-confidence is to stop comparing ourselves to others. This is especially hard to do in today's society when we have access to social media and we get constant glimpses into the lives of others. We must realize that the things that we see on social media and the qualities that we see in others are not necessarily the full truth. The truth is that everybody runs at their own pace. Everyone has their own strengths and has their own weaknesses. And where you may see only the strengths in another person, you're neglecting the fact that they also have weaknesses. We must fall back and cherish our strengths and truly believe in ourselves and our abilities to find the right answers for our own lives. Another big step that we can take in building our self-confidence is to surround ourselves with others that build us up rather than tear us down. It's common, especially when you're trying to do something for yourself and live your own dreams and your own truth, that you're going to come against pushback because it'll make people around you feel uncomfortable. We have to learn to push through that because people's words carry weight, and the things that they tell us can have an effect on if we really see our dreams through or not. Deep down, you know what is right for you. If you stay true to yourself, it's important to stand behind that, stay on path, and continue down your road to your dream. Another great step towards building self-confidence is beginning to take care of your body. And it can be the smallest things, such as going on a walk per day, or like we've talked about before, eating the apple a day. These things are small, but doing something that is healthy for yourself is constantly reaffirming that you are taking care of yourself and you're someone who has the ability to do those things and take those steps. Taking care of our nutrition and our exercise and our body is a great way to start to build self-confidence. Another great step is practicing positive self-talk. Anytime you catch yourself talking negative about yourself, try and reroute that to a positive affirmation that can replace your negative thoughts. For a lot of people, our self-talk was implanted into our minds from the times we were young by the people who were around us and who raised us. It's possible that we have remnants of that negative self-talk that was imprinted into our subconscious at a young age, and we need to break the pattern and replace those negative thoughts with positive. A great way to do this is affirmations in the beginning of the day or at the end of the day to try and imprint into our subconscious a new pattern. Another great step towards building self-confidence is putting yourself in a position where you can do what you're good at and you can play life to your strengths rather than your weaknesses. Try and find situations in jobs and work where you can be in a work environment where you're truly bringing your best talents to the table. As humans, we all want to be able to contribute at our highest level, and so this is important in building our well-being and self-confidence. Believe it or not, another great step to having high self-confidence is to learn when to say no. You don't want to be a yes person that says yes to everything, and I struggle with this in the beginning of business for sure, as well as a lot of people do when they're just trying to take any project on or do anything they can to build their reputation. But what you learn is that you can't commit to everything, and when you commit to everything at once, then you fall short at several different things because you can't spread yourself so thin. It's important to know when to say no and when to say yes, because this makes it so you can actually get done with the objectives that you set out to do, and doing that builds up your self-confidence. On the path to building self-confidence, you also have to set goals that are realistic, that you can commit to and get done. And the more we do that, the more it builds on our well-being, our self-reliance, our self-accountability. And when we set a goal that's too high and we set goals that are too high and we continuously miss the mark, we're eroding our self-confidence. So it's important to break it down into smaller steps where we know that we can commit and really get it done. And that's what makes a difference. This concludes our time for today. I just wanted to put this together for anybody out there who's feeling beat down and maybe they don't have the right people around them and they don't know how to go about starting the process of building their confidence. And this is a great way to start. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Subscribe if you like this bite-sized wisdom. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
Self-confidence comes from the lack of neglect. If you will not neglect to do the small daily disciplines, that's where self-confidence comes from. At the end of the day, when you've really poured it on and you've done all the stuff, self-confidence grows. That self-confidence affects your health, it affects your future, it affects your psyche. So this is true. One of the great powers is self-confidence. Self-confidence means willingness to do whatever it takes to achieve. Some people say, well, I'll do it for a little... while and see what happens. You know, I'll try a couple of things. If that doesn't work, I'm out of here. And all of us know that that kind of person doesn't have much of a future. But if you're willing to do whatever it takes, if I have to learn a couple of things, I will learn those things. If I got to learn 5 or 6 things, I'll learn all 6. If I have to take an extra class, I'll take an extra class. If I've got to read the books, I'll read the books. If I have to consult with people who know more than I know, I will do the necessary consulting. Whatever it takes, I will do. That starts to develop unbelievable self-confidence. Self-confidence also comes from the ability to rise above your circumstances, to rise above what happens, the petty little things, the discouraging things that would sink everyone else's ship except yours, that would cause someone else to quit early in the day, but you keep going. That kind of willingness to overcome all circumstances, whether it's the little challenges or the big challenges. If you're willing to do that, I promise you, this kind of power will work for you, and in you, the variable, it'll make a difference.